All right, our next speaker is Martin Pellinat, the president and founder of Vision Tree Software, Inc., and he'll be talking about incorporating PROs and passive patient sensor data into clinical studies via IoT devices, mobile connectivity, and cloud-based platforms.
Thank you, everyone. It's very exciting, and it's an honor to be here with this group. My name is Martin Pellinat. I'm the founder of Vision Tree Software. We actually started as Vision Tree in 2003, so that's not just a coincidence that this is the Vision Initiative. So we're excited that there's actually that connection point. But an even greater connection point is just knowing Dr. Levine from 10 years ago, where we built the JDRF clinical trials matching software and started the company in 2003, and just wanted to share with you all today some of our experiences of interoperability and launching electronic patient-reported outcomes in diabetes as well as other specialties. And just to note, our core passion is quantifying the patient's voice. We know that can be done through patient-reported outcomes, but also sensor data and interoperability solutions that are now possible that may not have been possible 10 years ago when we started together. And so we see patient-reported outcomes as being central not only to research, but also to quality initiatives, being able to now set roles-based alerts around patient-reported outcomes to triage a patient's answer to early intervention and preventative care, as well as also using sensor data to do the same thing. We're certainly seeing patient-reported outcomes being incorporated into value-based care initiatives and requirements around reimbursement and using patient engagement as that requirement, as well as certainly just replacing a paper clipboard with a tablet and having a better patient experience and better patient engagement, and then being able to bring that research data into a clinical workflow. We're really seeing that evolution happening where patient-reported outcomes are now becoming a standard of care, not just being used for research. What's exciting to us, having again started the company in 2003, this has just been in the last 12 to 24 months, thanks to the 21st Century Cures Act, which has brought to the marketplace a technology called Smart on Fire. So while that might be a little bit IT and jargony, what's exciting about that is that big EHR vendors such as Epic and Cerner have launched app marketplaces, and this allows for third-party apps, cloud-based apps, to be launched out of the electronic health record. So we have, taken that on ourselves and have seen that we could bring in an entire electronic patient-reported outcomes portfolio across all specialties of care, and also be able to use a portfolio like that to be able to validate against a new PRO assessment that might be designed, which of course is what we're talking about here in the working groups. We've also learned that having patient access through a variety of mechanisms, not just a tablet, but actually integrating it with a patient portal, such as MyChart, or having a QR code or a text message. These are all important aspects to provide, when you are looking at compliance as a core part of your quality of life endpoint. Our goal has been always to try to achieve at least 80% compliance. If you don't hit that, ultimately you're losing, study accrual and data that you can be able to report on. Having the ability to share that data across multiple sites is certainly key. Cloud-based platforms allow you to do that. And what we're also seeing now is this real correlation between using sensor data and electronic patient-reported outcomes data. Here's an example of what we've done in Australia in the field of spine, where a Fitbit activity tracker was handed to a patient before the spine surgery and then after spine surgery. This was done in conjunction with their standard PROs, such as the ODI and the VAS. And the spine surgeon, Dr. Rafe Mobbs there in Australia, found that having both the subjective and objective outcomes data at point of care really made a difference as far as being able to have a quality consult with that patient. We also have been in the field of diabetes. We launched the SWEET initiative in Europe several years ago. Many of you may be familiar with that. It has now been growing and expanding globally. with Suite, we are seeing a lot of what's happening here today as far as working groups and consensus building around determining minimal data sets that are relevant to a research initiative. And in this case, the result was that over 500,000 patients were brought to the EU Parliament in Brussels, and there was able to have public health decision-making occur by having these 12 countries all participate in this diabetes registry. Using the Suite example, coupled with other multi-center research initiatives, we see that just having interoperability, whether it's an EHR app or even just a file upload to be able to participate no matter where you're located is important. And then being able to send that data to another central location. In this case, this is metadata rave that we're doing with the NCI, is also just an important aspect when you really think about implementing an initiative like this. And then down at the hospital level, we're always excited to share some of our experiences, particularly this is MD Anderson, where we launched 10 years ago. They've collected over 13,000 patient-reported outcomes forms through our cloud-based platform. They're now curating that data. This is for a head and neck trial. And we're also launching the Epic App Market app here. The bottom line is that it's all very possible. It's happening right now as we're speaking, thanks to this, again, jargon of smart on fire, but it is really possible to have interoperability and solutions that can bring your initiative into the real world. So we're excited to just be part of the conversation and happy to answer any questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We have time for one question.
Yes. I guess your question, please.
Here.
So quite interesting, it's excellent talk. Quite interesting your comments about using your Fitbits or kind of like a wearable. Yeah. How do you? I mean, could you imagine that you can monitoring the patient vision by the improving activities, for instance? Is that how your spine kind of spinal surgery?
Yes, I mean our use case was with spine surgery, but we completely can envision that, and it's exciting to have those concepts be discussed here in this working group today.
So was it just by
possible? Yeah.
So was it just by steps, or is it more complex algorithm about the benefit for spinal surgery?
Yeah, I mean, for the spine surgery use case, they were just handed the Fitbit before surgery and then after surgery to track their mobility, their gait, right, and then correlate that to the patient-reported outcomes like the VAS and the ODI that they were collecting also, and being able to see that trended data plotted at the point of follow-up with the spine surgeon was really, really helpful.
Right. So there's no additional software required other than the standard Fitbit collection?
It was a standard Fitbit, yes.
Thank you.